Hello, friends. It's me, Grunhaar, and welcome back to another episode of minicast. I had a haircut last week. I feel fresh, and I think I'm getting ready for the new year. As of the time of this recording, it is towards the end of 2022. Don't you feel a bit sentimental every time in this season? I always think it's because of the shorter daytime. Dark hours are longer, and I think it makes you kind of miss the warmer days. But once we pass the winter solstice, I think we'll be fine. Anyways, in the previous episode, I introduced you to my podcast project. I've talked a little about myself. If you're interested, please go have a listen. This time, I would like to share you the steps I took to set up my podcast and the actual struggle I had while recording the first episode. Just to give you a context, I am not yet a podcast professional, a mere beginner, and I had to figure out so many things. By sharing my own experiences, I hope it's informative and I hope it will help any of you who are interested in starting a podcast. Before recording this episode, I actually took some time to write down an outline to reorganize my experiences and my thoughts so my talk won't get messy. Let's see. I have 5 big steps to share and we will walk through one step at a time. Step 1, platform. The first step was to choose a platform to upload podcast episodes. This wasn't that hard because I already kind of made up my mind on this one. I chose Anchor because it has simple workflow to create, upload, and manage podcast episodes. And I would like to add one more thing. Anchor is hosted by Spotify, and the content you upload to Anchor is automatically uploaded to Spotify as well. That means 2 platforms at once, and I think it's pretty efficient. I can't say when, but I'm also thinking of uploading on YouTube as well. Maybe I will add a little visual. I have plenty of ideas, but I try to start small for the moment. Step 2, microphone. The second step was to choose a microphone, a good one. Personally, this is pretty difficult for me because I had zero background knowledge about microphones. At first, I thought it was easy. Just find a microphone with good reviews and with USB cables so I can connect it directly to my computer. When I tried to buy one, I realized there are too many options. For example, on a high-level view, there's condenser type and dynamic type. Then there's low-price ones and expensive ones. Then there's USB output or XLR output and so on. And what I did first was I searched inside my memory what kind of microphones the streamers or gamers or podcasters used. And one of them was Blue Yeti. I searched it online, it had good reviews, it has USB output so I don't have to buy an audio mixer, and it was affordable so I bought it right away. I was honestly excited at that time. I felt like I can be one of the podcasters online, and I was happy. After I recorded for the first time and listened back, I noticed this subtle noise in my audio. It wasn't something physical and environmental. like the sound of a bike passing by, like the sound of air conditioner in my room. I don't know what to call it, but it has this high-pitched electric noise, and it's always kind of beeping. I tried so hard to fix it. I switched the USB adapters. I even switched my devices, my computers, to see if it works. I searched Reddit articles for possible hints, but no, it didn't fix the electric noise. This was actually the biggest struggle I had in setting up my podcast environment. Maybe the first microphone I bought is kind of faulty. I couldn't do anything to solve the issue. My motivation was almost gone. Then comes the Black Friday sale on Amazon. I had one more prominent microphone option in my mind, and it was Shure MV7, the one I'm using it right now. Amazing. I'm glad I bought it. I am finally free of the strange noise. Okay, step 3, language. The third step may not apply to everyone, but I had to choose a language. I had to pick English or Japanese or Norwegian. Before starting my podcast project, I asked my Japanese-speaking followers on Twitter if they listen to podcasts often or not, and the result was 88% of them said no. Yep, a little bit surprising. I thought of hosting a podcast in both languages, but that means double work and not idealistic. Also, I wanted to reach a broad range of audience, so I decided to host a podcast in English for now. Maybe I'll do it in Japanese, maybe someday. Let me know if you're interested, okay? So, in the end, I think it really depends on the audience or your branding. Okay, moving on. Step 4, software. So, step number 4 was to choose an audio editing software. If I didn't care too much, I can just upload my raw audio with breathing sounds, pops and clicks, and other unnecessary noises in it. I listened back to my recording several times and I couldn't just stand it. I didn't like it. Even a small pause can feel a little bit long and awkward sometimes. Not every part of it, but I clip my audio where it's necessary so the listeners won't feel like, for example, is my Bluetooth disconnected? Is the app down or whatnot? For the moment, I am using Ableton Live to record, edit, and export the audio file. You can use any other audio editing software as long as you're comfortable with it. But if you are on low budget, remember that you have an option to use a software called Audacity, and it's free. Okay, the last one, step number 5, script. So this one may not apply to everyone. However, if you think yourself a kind of person who tends to get lost while speaking, like me, you can prepare a script or a note with topics you would like to talk about. In this way, I think you can talk without being too nervous or re-recording several times. And that's it. Those were my 5 big steps I took to start a podcast. I hope it's helpful in some way. And I really want to make my podcast better. So if you have any tips or suggestions, please let me know in the comments or DM. Thank you so much for listening. Wherever you are, have a great day and see you next time.